Now, Nigeria has announced a 7-year suspension on the establishment of all new federal and private tertiary institutions, a decision approved by the Federal Executive Council on August 13. The ban announced by the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alusa, aims to address the low student enrollment, resource waste, and poor infrastructure plaguing the sector. This was announced by the government to seek redirection of resources to upgrade existing institutions and improve the quality of education to ensure graduates remain competitive internationally.
The Federal Executive Council has approved a moratorium on the establishment of new federal universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education following concerns about the sector's sustainability. Education Minister Dr. Tunji Alusa explained that the proliferation of institutions has reduced capacity, with some universities recording little to no student enrollment. Similar challenges have been observed in polytechnics and colleges of education, where many institutions attracted fewer than 100 applications last year. Authorities wonder if the trend continues, poorly equipped institutions will continue producing underprepared graduates, eroding the credibility of Nigerians' degrees and worsening unemployment. The moratorium is intended to stabilize the system and strengthen existing institutions rather than risk reputational decline. The decision has received widespread support. Academic Staff Union of Universities President Professor Christopher Piwana described the move as a necessary step to address long-standing challenges and suggested an extension of the moratorium to allow for comprehensive reforms. Former University of Elori Admission Committee Chair Professor Ekua also endorsed the measure, cautioning that many new universities have been politically motivated and warning against prematurely lifting the ban.
Meanwhile, Egypt has introduced a new bachelor's degree in banking sciences across public universities starting in the 2025-2026 academic year. The program, developed by the Central Bank of Egypt and the Higher Education Ministry, aims to bridge academic training with financial sector needs. Aligned with Egypt's Vision 2030, it will provide students with practical skills through case studies and partnerships with local banks, supporting financial stability and economic growth.
The new undergraduate program is a direct response to labor market demands in the financial sector. It aims to produce a new generation of banking leaders who combine academic foundations with practical and modern technological skills. The program's curriculum will be delivered in English under a credit hour system and will cover critical topics such as fintech, digital banking, and sustainable banking. Students will gain advanced skills not only in the classroom, but also through intensive practical training and case studies conducted in collaboration with banks operating in Egypt. The program's goal is to ensure that graduates enter the workforce with both academic excellence and job-ready experience, allowing them to make immediate contributions to economic growth. During the launch event on August 7, the Central Bank of Egypt Governor, Hassan Abdullah, described the program as a pioneering step. He said that empowering youth with world-class banking skills is a strategic investment that will support financial stability and drive national economic development. The program has also received praise from beyond Egypt. Professor Eric Esuameme from James Hope University in Nigeria welcomed the initiative. He noted that despite other banking degrees in Africa, this is the first time a program of this caliber has involved all relevant stakeholders at the bachelor's level, calling it a major milestone set to revolutionize higher education across the continent. According to Professor Esuameme, the program will produce a new breed of graduates with practical knowledge to address modern challenges like cyber attacks and the implementation of new technologies like artificial intelligence and big data.
In health, the Africa CDC has announced the approval of the first malaria treatment designed for newborns and infants under 5 kilograms. The breakthrough, developed through a partnership with Novartis and the Medicine for Malaria Venture, addresses a long-standing treatment gap for Africa's most vulnerable children.
Until now, no approved medication existed for babies under 5 kilograms, forcing caregivers to rely on modified doses meant for older children, a practice that increased the risk of overdose and toxicity. The new artemether lumefantrine formulation changes this, offering a safe, effective, and infant-friendly option that dissolves into breast milk and carries a sweet flavor to ease administration. The treatment was developed by Novartis in partnership with the Medicines for Malaria Venture under the PAM Africa Consortium with support from international funders. It has already been approved by Swiss regulators, with rapid authorizations expected across 8 African countries: Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Kenya, Malawi, Mozambique, Nigeria, Tanzania, and Uganda, whose participation in clinical trials was crucial in reaching this milestone. Africa CDC leadership says the breakthrough highlights the strength of Africa-led collaboration in delivering health solutions where they are needed most. The agency has pledged to support member states by updating clinical guidelines, training health workers, and ensuring equitable access through local manufacturing and pooled procurement mechanisms. With nearly 30 million babies born each year in malaria-endemic regions, this new formulation brings fresh hope that even the youngest and most vulnerable children can now be protected, marking a major step forward in Africa's mission to eliminate malaria.
Please stick with us for news and discovery after the short break. We'll be right back.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning, and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available easy-to-use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
You're welcome back from the break, and in our Discovery News, Nigeria's financial sector is rapidly integrating mobile banking, fintech innovations, and digital currencies, creating both new opportunities and heightened risk. To address these challenges, artificial intelligence is being deployed to strengthen fraud detection, automate security, and enhance customer verification. However, cybercriminals are also exploiting AI for deepfakes, phishing attacks, and AI-driven malware. Regulators, including the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, are working with financial institutions to boost defenses under the Nigeria Data Protection Act 2023. Experts stress that collaboration, training, and ethical AI use are vital to protecting sensitive data and securing the nation's digital economy.
Artificial intelligence is proving indispensable in strengthening defenses across Nigeria's financial sector. Machine learning tools now scan vast amounts of financial data in real time, detecting unusual patterns in transactions and network traffic to prevent fraud and identify zero-day attacks. Automated response systems powered by AI can quickly isolate compromised systems, while biometric authentication such as facial and fingerprint recognition offers stronger protection than traditional passwords. But criminals are also weaponizing the same technology. AI is being used to create hyper-realistic deepfakes, craft sophisticated phishing emails, and generate malware that adapts faster than traditional defenses can counter. Experts warn that these advanced AI-driven threats are increasingly difficult to detect, leaving financial institutions more vulnerable. Industry leaders say the way forward is a balance between innovation and security. This requires investing in AI-driven threat intelligence, expanding training for cybersecurity experts, and fostering stronger collaboration between banks, regulators, law enforcement, and local innovators. Regulators are also pushing for compliance with the Nigeria Data Protection Act to safeguard sensitive customer data. The future of Nigeria's financial sector, analysts say, will depend on how well the nation harnesses artificial intelligence as both a shield and a safeguard against cybercrime.
In sports, Kenya's Faith Kipyegon came within a second of breaking the women's 3,000 meters world record at Celestia Diamond League. The two-time Olympic champion stormed to victory in 8 minutes 7.4 seconds, the second fastest time ever recorded, just 0.93 seconds off the long-standing world mark set in 1993. Kipyegon's dominant run also shattered both the African and Kenyan records, further cementing her reputation as one of the greatest middle distance runners of all time.
Kenya's Faith Kipyegon has delivered yet another breathtaking performance, this time at the Celestia Diamond League. The middle distance queen stopped the clock at 8 minutes 7.04 seconds in the women's 3,000 meters, the second fastest time in history and less than a second away from the world record set in 1993. In hot conditions, Kipyegon was in control from the start. She surged ahead early, leaving the field behind and crossing the finish line nearly 200 meters clear of her rivals. Ethiopia's Lekina Amibao finished second in 8 minutes 34.53 seconds, with Alicia Bawaki in third. Kipyegon's time not only shattered the African record, but also erased the Kenyan record set earlier this year by Beatrice Chebet. Already a two-time Olympic champion over 1,500 meters and 5,000 meters, her brilliance over the 3,000 meters has underlined her versatility and dominance on the track. Though the world record still stands, Kipyegon's performance ranks among the finest in the sport's history, further strengthening her place as one of the greatest female distance runners of all time.
In entertainment, Nigeria Afropop star Tems has launched a new initiative to support young women in Africa's music industry. Speaking at an interview, the two-time Grammy winner revealed the challenges she faced early in her career, saying women are often not respected in the industry. Her project, called the Leading Vibe Initiative, began in Lagos with workshops, masterclasses, and panel discussions aimed at giving female vocalists, songwriters, and producers greater opportunities. Tems, who has worked with global icons including Beyoncé and Rihanna, says she wants women to define their own boundaries, remain authentic, and pursue music with passion.
Nigerian Afropop sensation Tems is taking bold steps to empower women in music. The two-time Grammy Award winner, who has spoken about the barriers she faced at the start of her career, says, "Women are often not respected in the male-dominated industry." Her new platform, the Leading Vibe Initiative, kicked off in Lagos with a series of workshops, masterclasses, and panel discussions designed to give young female artists the skills and exposure they needed to succeed. Terms, known for her hits Love Me Jeje and Free Mind, has collaborated with Beyoncé and Rihanna and continues to headline international stages. She says her journey has been driven by passion, authenticity, and refusing to compromise her sound. Now, through her initiative, she hopes to make it easier for women across Africa to access opportunities, reach wider audiences, and achieve lasting success.
And now in business, Nigeria's inflation rate fell to 21.88% in July from 22.22% in June, marking the fourth consecutive monthly decline, according to official data. The slowdown follows a rebasing of the consumer price index, which had peaked above 34% last year. Food inflation rose slightly to 22.74% from 21.97% in June. The central bank has kept its key rate unchanged at 27.50%, with Governor Olayemi Cardoso stressing the need to sustain disinflation.
Nigeria's inflation rate continued to ease in July, dropping to 21.88% from 22.22% the previous month. This marks the fourth month in a row that inflation has slowed, following changes to the base year and the reweighting of the customer price basket. Last year, inflation has soared to more than 34% before the rebasing. Food prices, however, remains a major driver, with food inflation rising to 22.74% in July. The central bank has kept its monetary policy rate steady at 27.50% for the third time this year, saying the decision aims to sustain the country's disinflation trend.
On international front, Donald Trump's special envoy says Russia has agreed to let the US and Europe provide Ukraine with strong security guarantees under a potential peace deal. The arrangements discussed at the Alaska summit would grant Ukraine protections comparable to NATO's mutual defense principle without full membership. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed the proposal as significant ahead of talks in Washington with Trump and European leaders. However, concerns persist over Russian demands for Ukraine to withdraw from the condition from Kyiv, as has been rejected.
Russia has agreed to allow the United States and Europe to extend robust security guarantees to Ukraine as part of ongoing peace negotiations. At the Alaska summit, the framework discussed would give Ukraine protection similar to NATO's collective defense principle, though without full membership status. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky regarded the move as a milestone but emphasized that guarantees must provide real defense on land, in the air, and at sea. He is expected to meet Donald Trump and key European leaders in Washington to refine the deal. European capitals remain cautious, pointing to Moscow's condition, including a demand for Ukraine to pull out of Donetsk. Kyiv has firmly rejected such concessions, warning they could pave the way for future Russian aggression. The Washington talks are set to bring together leaders from the UK, France, Germany, the European Commission, and NATO in an effort to present a united front on Ukraine's long-term security.
That is all for the news, and let's take a quick recap of our headlines. In higher education, Nigeria halts new universities to boost quality. In health, Africa CDC approves first malaria drug for newborns. In business, Nigeria's inflation rate eases to 21.88%. An international Ukraine security deal gains Russian approval. And I'll thank you very much for sticking with us on the AAU TV Midweek News. My name is Maame Otuakoa Nyame. Do get interactive with us on our social media platforms at Association of African Universities. Have a nice day.